Hello, friends of ABC Latino, wherever you are. Today, in this editorial, we are going to talk a little bit, trying to understand or to explain as best as I can from my own and only personal point of view about what is happening in the world. You might remember that towards the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, we talked about how all the different traditions, all the spiritual movements, all the people that were concerned with the growth and development of humanity as a whole, like we have done so many times, were talking about the dawn of a new era. And they are still talking about the dawn of a new era. We are at the dawn of a new era that is marked by a global vision of who we are as individual human beings. An era that brings the globe closer together to understand, like we have said so many times, that we are all brothers and sisters living in the same house, the earth, and that the problems that confront us, we can resolve them if we unite and work together. We either save ourselves as a civilization together, or we are doomed together. There are no individual salvations. There are no individual countries that will be saved while others are destroyed, so to speak. So we are in this new era. A lot of people are talking about this, definitely. But then we look around and we don't understand what is going on. Why? Because it seems that the conflicts are taking over. The tragedies in life are taking over. Wars are taking over. Misery is taking over. It looks like the worst of the human being is coming forth. And of course, it's easier, much easier, to see the worst of the human spirit than to point out to the best. But it's still here. It's still, and there are millions of souls that are already part of this new era. So what's going on? This is what I will try to explain from how I see it personally. It's just my personal point of view. It's like when we read a book, and the book will be analogous to being in one era and jumping to another book in another era. When we are reading a book and we read it from the beginning to the end, we finish the book, we close it, and then we go and we open a new book. Now, while we start reading the new book, everything that we read before in that older book that we already closed and put away on the shelf is still inside us. It's still in our heads, it's still in our minds, it's still in our feelings. Why? Because all those impressions stayed within us. We can never close the book completely. All those things that somehow did something inside us are still there in us. So while we are in the new book, we still have all those concepts inside. Let's put it in a different way. You are driving down the highway and you're driving 70 miles per hour. And suddenly you realize that you had to make a right turn. So you brake, okay? What happens? You don't come to a complete stop. There is inertia that you need to overcome. Even when you brake, there is that inertia that pushes your car past the intersection where you had to turn right or left. That inertia carries us into the new era. It's with us. This is what is happening right now in the world. This is what is happening with nations that are at odds with each other without realizing that our destiny as civilization is to work closer together than ever before to address the serious threats that we have created for this civilization. But there is inertia. And this is why we see all the things that we see nowadays. It's not to despair. It's simply to understand what is happening and to realize that we need to overcome that inertia, those things that we carry from before in us. That change that we want to see in the world starts in us, within us, by ripping out, by overcoming all those influences that we carry from the past and understand that we are now in a new era, the area of Aquarius or whatever name you want to give it. But we are in a new global era. And we need to overcome our own demons within ourselves, those that we bring from the past. That's how nations will do it as well. That's why governments will do it as well. The global world, the global civilization, it's here. It's our destiny. It's here to stay, at least in this new era. But we have to understand what is going on. And we need to work on ourselves to change and to get rid of all those impositions that divide us between what is right or wrong, what is left or right, what is yours and what is mine, what is all the pairs of opposites. That's the old. The new is to understand that we are sharing the same house. And if we don't take care of the same house, the house will crumble on all of us. It's that simple, but it needs a different mind paradigm. And that's the stage we are in right now. And that's why we see and suffer all the things that are happening to us and around us. But the path is clear. Thanks.